the relationship between the first Adam and the last Adam. Well, if there's 10,000 people, who is this Adam?
Where scholars are basically indirectly saying, you can't really understand the Bible on your own, we'll tell you what it means.
Francis Collins, who's also associated with BioLogos, Dennis Venema also, he's pretty much come out and said now that the junk DNA argument was a bad argument, and yet that was one of his primary arguments back 5 and 10 years ago when he wrote his several books on the subject. Junk DNA was it, that was the answer, and this is why evolution is true in his mind.
And it was a big shock to the scientific community in 1997 when this Nature Genetics paper came out saying, well, this is way higher. The actual rate at which DNA changes suggests Eve lived 6,000 years ago.
And in the 1980s, it really took off. Pseudogenes were the answer to those creationists.
Well, creation is the foundation of the gospel. God created us in His image. We're not like other animals. We are created in the image of God.
The issue here is authority. Is our authority going to be what God has revealed in His Word, the Bible, or is it going to be secular science?
Young people are just fascinated and they're interested, and it's really pointing them back to the Bible and saying, look, the Bible is not just a book of stories. It's a book of history. You can trust its biology, its geology, its astronomy, its anthropology. We can answer these questions that you have today.
Young Earth creationists are like, hey, will you read this article and tell me what you think is wrong with it? And for a evolutionist person in a university or something, for them to and even engage, it's like, you know, it's like, yeah, it's like engaging with Hitler or something. Like, it's just crazy. And like, you could like maybe not get tenure. I mean, it's really bad.
Wait, are you going to use this material in your presentation?
Absolutely. Just like you said, it's all about scientific method, predictions, analysis, and confirmation. I love it.
The essential question is the evidence best explained by the Big Bang worldview or the biblical worldview? Universe battles. Big Bang or Big Design?
This is all based upon the Big Bang cosmogony, the belief that the universe started instantaneously, it suddenly appeared in the past in a very hot, very dense state.
Now, if you were to look at our solar system, well, if we had a very elliptical orbit around our parent star, around the sun, then we would be alternately too close and too far away from the sun for life to be possible.
And that's interesting because, of course, God is uncreated. He's an eternal being. You see, things that have a beginning require a cause. And the universe has a beginning. That's pretty much universally agreed on these days. And therefore the universe requires a cause. And so it makes sense that the universe would have to have a creator.
Well, okay, if you really believe that the universe came into existence for no reason, as a result of a random event, then what right do you have to expect it to operate according to strict laws of physics afterward? That's being totally inconsistent.
And so comments that he's made about the pale blue dot, that our Earth is just an insignificant planet around an insignificant star in an insignificant galaxy, and on, it's pretty depressing, but it's a natural outcome of an atheistic worldview.
Many, but not all the planets and moons in the solar system have a magnetic field. Earth has a magnetic field, which allows navigation by compass.
The reason Humphrey's crazy theory of magnetic fields' origins and what happens to them afterwards is important is because the theory cannot work unless the solar system is between 6,000 and 10,000 years old.
And so you see those people who believe in naturalistic origins look on the earth as nothing special. If the earth is nothing special, then life is nothing special. It's really important to understand the influence of one's worldview in dealing with these issues.
And if you don't want to be categorized with the religious flakes and nuts, I suggest you find a different subject for your project.
I think most people who visit the Grand Canyon will be awed by the mile-long depth of the canyon. And then they look down from the rim and they see numerous layers and they think, wow, they are amazing. And they look really, really old, like millions and billions of years old. How can we know how old the rocks and layers really are? Does the Bible say anything about the formation of Earth's layers? With the insights from Dr. Andrew Snelling and Dr. John Whitmore and others, I think you'll be surprised by the evidence. I think you might even be shocked that the evidence in the layers is so clear that it does not fit the ancient Earth models, while it fits perfectly the biblical global flood model. Come with me on an adventure to the Grand Canyon, where we look at rocks and layers and find incontrovertible evidence. The Earth is young.